Art. 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 Don't worry, it's not any form of art performers. It's an experiment. And I just want to share with you the results, so please stay with me. Art. As you can see, every bubble breaks. Economically, we've seen it many times. For example, around 2008, when there was a big crisis on the market, a lot of people, economists especially, lost their job. It was a certain time when everyone was choosing economic education for a certain reason. And then it was too many economists on the market. That's why, unfortunately, most of them, they lost their jobs. Now, it's too much art in this world. And yes, of course, you can argue that there is never enough of art and blah blah blah. But let's face the fact. Since art became a product, it's obvious that a market is controlled to sell as much as is possible. It was just easy, you just had to buy the concept. That's why people believe in certain way, like art is subjective, everyone is artist, everyone is creative, art is everywhere, art is for everyone. But unfortunately, it's not necessarily the truth. It's product manipulation, and this is how the market is controlled. Every inflation comes with a devaluation. And unfortunately, we're gonna see that kind of devaluation pretty much soon. And I'm not talking here only about the tattooing as an industry, but any form of the creative industry or creative market. Change the name art with any other and every bubble gonna break the same way. I want to share with you two of experiments. One, imagine you have a painting and then you have 200 people representing the same category, same class, the same cultural aspect, the same wealth, the same ethnicity, everything the same. Imagine you have 200 people like this and you divide them to equal groups, 100 people each. Imagine for two groups you're going to present the painting but different ways. For first group you're going to say the painting has been painted by the painter. That's it. For the next group you're going to use a more profound language. The artist painted the art, created the art, blah blah blah. You're going to put some storytelling. People like the storytelling, and as a seller you choose someone with a stronger authority, like a famous actor or famous musician or whatever. And imagine he's selling this using the more profound words, which naturally in the average consumer's eye is going to elevate the actual price. And now there's a question: what will be the price for those two groups? Obviously the second group's going to see a stronger value in the same painting. What makes the difference between those two groups? Absolutely nothing. The 99% of the people are going to buy the advertisement. 99% of both groups are not capable to judge the product. Only 1% of people from both groups are capable to judge if they really want it, if they want to pay the money that they were asked for, and if the painting is worth. Professor Gerald Zeltman proved that 95% of any purchases are done with emotions, not with logic. Now imagine, is it art only about the emotions, or it's something that someone wants you to believe? What if someone knows how to sell the product, so technically it tells us that art is about the emotion? What if art is not necessarily only about the emotions like we tend to believe? Maybe there is also an intellectual value that we should focus on. And now imagine, what if the whole concept, emotional concept around art is just created to control the market and sell the product much easier? Second experiment that I wanted to share with you is obviously based on the art history. You cannot deny that art used to belong, it was in the hands of elites. And I'm not here to criticize if I agree with it or not, but it's a historical fact. For a simple calculation, I'm gonna use very simple numbers. Imagine you have a population of 1,000 people, just for an easier calculation. Imagine the 10% of that population, it's elite, which is 100 people. Now you wanna sell the painting, the art, to someone. What if you can only attract 5% of the people? Manner of taste. 5% of the 100 people is just 5 people. Would you rather sell it to elites, or would you sell it to the whole population? Where 5% of the 1,000, it's 50. That creates a larger number. Now imagine every piece you sell is $100. Would you rather have a $500 or a $1,500?